It's Week 16 of the National Football League, and we've got C.D. Lamb. Always staying busy, he's your league leader in receiving yards. It's the Cowboys and the Armadillos, next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Armadillos of Brooklyn taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, our visitors, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number 1, including himself.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stroud off the play fake. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Caught by Jones. And he will have a Cowboys first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Stroud looking to throw. Rolling to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This, the second meeting of these 2 teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington. 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. Here's a screen now for Pollard. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guys' pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in the block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
On the bootleg, Stroud. That is caught by Lamb. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A very solid gain of 27. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. First and goal. Pollard. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Stroud now on second down. Swinging this out for Pollard. Touchdown! Tony Pollard with career touchdown number 109. That ties him with Barry Sanders on the all-time NFL list. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator?
Oh, yeah.
What he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun. McKinney throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. You look at this Cowboy defense. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. 17 yards there on 3rd down as they pick up a 1st and 10.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field. And a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready, ready.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a 1st down.
Again, it's Robinson. And down to the 41.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good 1st step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, it's Brooklyn in possession as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. To throw on third down, McKinnon, and he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Christian Harris racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on third down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset. A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Cowboy 80.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 10. Stroud to throw it. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
70 Ranger.
And Stroud now to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Go, Reed, go.
Now Stroud. Left side to Lamb. Touchdown, Cowboys. C.D. Lamb, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Aubrey now for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive.
As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They're giving him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
On third down, McKinney.
That is caught.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Let's go.
From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6.
Operating from the gun, McKinney. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Blake Gillikin on a punt here as he'll send this one away.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver as he brings out this offense.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's 1 catch away from...
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. McKinney. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Come on.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Remember, they had the safety go against them the last time they had it. Fortunately, their defense just forced the punt, so they'll try again as they start 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now a handoff up the middle. Fox. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
The tackle made back at the 25-yard line.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete.
And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it will result in a fresh set of downs. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
1st and 10, it's Stroud.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Stroud. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 24-yard line.
They hand off to their big tight end. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. A carry here for the big tight end.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Khalil Shakir.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Aubrey now for the PAT.
And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays.
And it was all polished off with a Khalil Shakir touchdown catch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
One more go for this offense in the first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
10 cycles. Ready.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This to McLaurin out on the left side. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Ready.
Throwing on first down. McKinney. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. A final shot before break. McKinney throwing the out route incomplete. That's Norton. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who have the lead in the second quarter. Jamar Chase with a touchdown reception from Joe Burrow. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Kyler Murray, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. We just watched a very good first half out of the Ohio State man, C.J. Stroud. He threw a first quarter touchdown pass, then 2 more in the second quarter, a 3-touchdown half. And he may just be getting started. Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
2nd and 10.
To throw again. McKinney. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Inside the 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
Aubrey now for the point after. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
On 1st and 10, McKinney. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously, a lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
On second down, here's the option.
Holding offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
To throw on second down, McKinney. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
T.J. Edwards,
the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. He finds his man, complete. It's Norton. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Illegal block in the ball. Return team.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Fox, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Throwing now is Stroud. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes.
Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and it definitely should.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Christian Harris picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. McKinney. He finds his man. Complete. It's Norton. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Looking to throw. McKinney.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll put us within 3 scores as it becomes now a 23-point game.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Out comes CeeDee Lamb and the rest of the Dallas offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Now a give right side. Fox.
He'll get this to about the 38.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
We're off to the fourth quarter here on Christmas Eve. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8.
Liking 18. Roll.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Fox. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That good for 19 and a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defense in front. They've got the leverage. They're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Come on.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw. Stroud. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now a handoff up the middle. Fox, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He completes it to Jones. And he does not get to the 1st down marker as they stop him at the 19. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, it's difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th.
Stroud looking to throw.
It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Stroud.
And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Cowboys up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. A partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Trouble, 38.
On 1st down, McKinney. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Osa Odighizuwa
gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Looking to throw. McKinney.
Here's a screen for Robinson.
Little power on the move that time, but still tackled shy of the 20. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
Set, ready.
Operating from the gun, McKinney. And that is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Pioneer. 60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Aubrey now for the PAT.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. McKinney sets up the screen to Robinson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Holding, offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Up the middle they go. It's Jordan. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Ready.
Throwing on 1st down. McKinney. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Off the play fake. McKinney. And he finds McLaurin.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 40. That third down conversion good for 23. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still 3,000 yards, a good season.
Let's go. Ready?
Back to throw again. Throw left side complete. That's Jordan. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 26. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Here we go. Here we go.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Dallas, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, it just keeps getting worse as they're going to fall to 1-14. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.